Hi guys, okay, we have come to the fourth part of our topic of oral presentation, which is the language of presentation and the non-verbal communication. Okay, so for language of presentation, so when you want to present, make sure your language is accurate, is clear, is appropriate, is concise, concrete, and interesting. So here are some tips for you. You have to use standard English. Next one is use specific words for clear meaning and avoid confusion. For example, if you want to say that this mask is good for you, it's the one that can help infectious disease. Okay, instead of using the word good or better or nice, you can use excellent. Specific word. See, this mask is excellent in preventing the spread of infectious disease, for example. So use specific word. Okay, you use active voice to strengthen the subject or discussion. So when you are talking about the mask, so you should use, for example, this mask helps prevent, instead of you say the infectious disease can be prevented by using this mask. Okay. Which one that you want to emphasize? So you put emphasize by using active voice. Next one is use convincing words. For example, instead of using I think this mask is good or is better than the mask that you have in the market. Okay, instead of you say I think, you say I am sure, I know, I am certain. Okay, convince. You have to convince the audience. Okay, use simple words. Do not use technical words. Do not use bombastic. Do not use jargon. For example, you are talking about the UV ray. So they are the UV ray that can help to kill the germs or to kill the virus. So instead of pointing the names of the UV rays, you can just use simple words. These UV rays, or even if you still need to highlight on the name of the UV ray, then you explain again after that. So this is a specific type of UV ray that can help to kill the viruses. Okay, so it's okay if you want to use jargons and bombastic word, but make sure you explain it later and you don't use it very often. Okay, the last tip is please use connective or linkers. For example, firstly, secondly, in addition, so that the audience know you are moving from first idea to the second one. You that this is not additional idea, but this is the elaboration. So use connective words and linkers. Okay, so those are some tips for you for the language of presentation. Then we go to the non-verbal communication. So in non-verbal communication, we have body language, working as a team, group dynamic. So for body language, we have 4 forms of body language, which is the gestures, eye contact, facial expression, and stance or body movement. Gestures, your hands. You can use your hand. You shouldn't just put your hands at the back, or you just hold your nose and then do nothing. You can use your hands to show some gestures during your oral presentation. Okay? You can use, and do not put your hands in the pocket all the time. you can use various hand gestures, okay, as long as it is appropriate and you're not exaggerating using it, okay. Actually, the hand gestures also will help to retain the attention of the audience, okay, because they have something to see, something is moving instead of only your mouth verbally talking, okay. And then the eye contact, okay, you have audience in front of you, so you have to look at their eyes, okay. Let's say you have the audience at your side, on your left, on your right, so you move your eyes, you move your head, okay. You don't move like a robot, move like you normally move, okay. When you talk to your friends, okay, so you look at their eyes, you look here and there, okay. Do not look at only one direction, or even worse, look at the screen or look at the notes that you have, okay. Please look at your audience, maintain eye contact with the audience so that they know that you give them the attention also, okay. Not only they are the one who need to give you attention, but you are also giving attention to them, okay. Eye contact. The third one is the facial expression. Please have various facial expression appropriate to the situation or to the time of presentation, okay. If you need to smile, you smile. If you need to laugh, then you laugh. If you need to be serious, then you be serious, okay. You have to suit your facial expression according to your content, okay. And then stance and body movement. Minimize your movement, but do not just stand there without any movement, okay. You can move, okay. You can move around, you can go towards the audience as long as it is appropriate, but then do not have too much body movements. For example, if you're nervous, then maybe you're doing like this without you noticing it, or you are doing like this. No, okay, that is too much, okay. You can move in time. And then your stance, okay, make sure you stand properly, okay. Do not slouch. Stand appropriately, stand properly, okay. Do not slouch, okay. Stand tall, okay. Then we go working as a team. When you're working as a team, you must have teamwork, okay. You have to know your members, you have to be ready to give and to accept suggestions. So you have, or you can establish ground rules. For example, the guidelines on how your meetings among your group members will be organized, who is going to be the leader, who will be taking notes, who will be doing the poster, who will be doing the other material, okay. You delegate your tasks. You should decide on how are you going to communicate with your group members, okay. Are you going to have frequent meetings, or you are going to conduct online meetings? So how are you going to communicate with your group members? And then you have to schedule your work to make sure you don't pass the deadline, okay. When you are deciding the roles of each member, you have to identify first what are their strengths and weaknesses, and then only you can divide the work, okay. Because you want to get a perfect end result, right? So you have to know first the strengths and weaknesses of your group members before you delegate the roles. Make sure everybody is having equal contribution. You can always ask for help from anyone that you think is as expert about the topic that you want to ask, okay. You can ask, okay. Even though you already delegate, you already make sure that everybody is having equal contribution, but you still can ask or seek help when you need. Okay, for the task distribution, make sure as a leader or even as a member, you keep track on the progress. Okay, make sure make sure the task is done in its own deadline. Okay, before the submission date, you create your own deadline for each process. Okay, to make sure that the task is done on time. Okay, for group dynamic, you have to establish it quickly. So once you know your group members, once you choose your group members, okay, you get to know them, and then if there are any conflicts during the process of completing the task, okay, you have to confront them professionally. Okay, you have to maybe ask, is there any problem, or maybe give them the help that they needed. Okay, if let's say your group members couldn't do their part well. If let's say you have non-contributors, do not assume that they are lazy, okay, or do not assume that they don't want to cooperate. Maybe they have other issues coming. Okay, so you find out why they are not participating. So you ask, you confront, and then encourage. Maybe you have group members who are shy to ask, they don't know what to ask, so you approach them, you encourage them. And then if let's say your group members are not interested, okay, you try to give some motivation to them. Maybe you can give advices, you can lead them. For dominant members, tell them the ground rules while you are doing or while you are progressing your task. They don't overpower you as a leader. For the dominant group members, you have to address the ground rule. You have to tell them first, we have these rules, so that they can follow and the task can progress well. Okay, you have to make sure that they know that they should be taking turns, or they should be sensitive while communicating with each other. Okay, so that is for dominant group members.
So remember, for the language of presentation, make sure you are using accurate words, clear sentences, concrete. You choose interesting words, you choose interesting way of delivering your information. You make sure it is appropriate. And then for non-verbal communication, make sure you make use of your body language, especially the gestures, the eye contact, facial expressions, and your body movement. And when you work as a team, you make sure you work as a team. You don't do work individually without any communication among your team members. And make sure you have group dynamics, meaning you are able to understand each other and solve any conflicts in no time. And make sure the end result of your task or assignment is perfect.
Okay, so that's all for the last part of our oral presentation topic, which is the language of presentation and non-verbal communication. Thank you. Bye.